karma. And I just want to give a quick shout out to life, to God, to energy, to everything that removed all of the negative pieces of shit from my life last year. Every day I say thank you so much. I am doing great. Life is fucking amazing. So I'm just over here sipping my tea, living my motherfucking life, and loving every second of it. So for everyone that has been checking on me, girl, I'm doing just fine. My crown hurts though. I've been getting asked a lot, are you ever gonna tell your side of the story? I don't even think I have to. I think everything will come out eventually on its own this year. There's still 4 months left. 2018 has been a fucking journey, girl. So, I'm bored. Well, we're just sitting back, living our lives, enjoying our lives, being productive, being amazing, being fucking sickening, just living, girl. You're about to see a lot more shit trickle out. So, I don't know why people try me.
Jeffree Star is a shitty fucking person and always has been, if we're being completely honest. And Shane Dawson is also a shitty fucking person, birds of a feather, obviously, and also has proven himself more recently to be hypocritical and a coward with no backbone with his recent Twitter post, which I'll get to towards the end of this video. But let's just start with Jeffree Star. Let me just start this off before I get really into this video. Let me start this off by saying that I used to be a supporter of Jeffree Star. I wouldn't say that I was his biggest fan. I'm far from it. I never really bought all his makeup. I only bought 2 lippies, and I only got them because they came for free with his merch. I bought 2 of his t-shirts, the tie-dye t-shirts. One of them said, I think it was full coverage queen, and the other one said, you better blend, bitch. And if you bought merch, you got 2 lippies or whatever. I forgot what the deal was, but I've never really been one of those people who like obsessively stalked Jeffree Star and bought all of his products or whatever, what have you, right? I did watch most of his videos because for a long time, I thoroughly enjoyed talking about the drama that would follow his channel, which I'm going to get into in the next few minutes. Now, as far as the merch that I had from Jeffree Star, one of them I gave away because I stopped supporting him and I gave it to somebody who loved him. And the other t-shirt actually ended up being shredded in the washer one time, which it's kind of hilarious to me looking back at it now because it's like, I see it as the universe removing something out of my life that should have never been there in the first place. But yeah, I've never been his biggest fan, but I've also never been someone who just downright hated him for no reason. Do I like him now? Absolutely not. I don't like him. I don't like the person that I see on YouTube. I don't like the person that I hear about being exposed from all these people who know him personally, which is one of the biggest points I want to make. And actually, it's the first point I want to make. Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson, but mostly Jeffree Star, has been exposed by people who have been closest to him many times. And it's so weird how even though these people have come with receipts or they've said, you know what, listen, you guys don't hang out with him behind the scenes. You guys don't know what he's like behind the scenes. You only see what he wants you to see on his YouTube channel, which is absolutely true. Despite all these things, these people get dragged through the mud for even daring to come forward about Jeffree Star because it's Jeffree Star. Sharita is Random said recently in one of her latest videos, it's amazing how much power there is in numbers. And to be honest, there's no better example of that than Jeffree Star. Because how many times have we seen people, even people who have been closest to him, who have been considered best friends or even family members sometimes, they come forward and they come correct every time almost, and they're like, listen, we know who he is behind the scenes, we know what he's about, we see him when the camera's off. You guys don't see him. This is my experience with him, and here are my receipts. And oftentimes, like I said, they come correct. They don't come with, busted ass, like just screenshots of half-assed conversations. They come with the full thread. But despite all that, they still end up getting the shaft for whatever reason, just because these people are speaking against Jeffree Star. But when the tables turn and it's Jeffree Star exposing someone else or laughing at someone else for something, his stands don't question a goddamn thing. They don't question legitimacy. They don't question why he doesn't have proof of anything. They just take his word as gold and run with it. And there was no better example of that than the situation with him, Tati, and James Charles. Before I go any deeper into the James Charles situation with Jeffree, I want to first go back in time to David Scissorhands, because this was the first real example to me in my eyes of people blindly just being like, we don't give a fuck about your receipts, no matter how legitimate they may look. We don't care. It's Jeffree Star. You fucked up. You're done. You're a liar. Okay? Now, if you have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about with David Scissorhands, here is a little recap. Back in 2018, a dude by the name of David Scissorhands came out of nowhere with, at the time, alleged receipts showing that Jeffree Star referred to Jackie Aina as a gorilla, as shown here.
I tried posting a video right now of a really intense text message that I wanted to share with you guys, and I am going to try to reshare this with you properly, because the way I posted it right now, it did not come out pretty clear. So it was a bit scrambled. It didn't make sense. So taking it back to August 1st, 2017, I asked this individual if they were upset with me, and they said, allegedly, no, we just talked yesterday. You know, at that time I said, well, I just noticed you unfollowed me on social media. I know it's really nothing but response being, I know it's just Instagram, you know, and this is their response, basically saying that this is how they felt about me working with certain artists that they did not approve of, or that I was not really allowed to work with. And it goes into making it seem like it's okay. Here's my response. You go into my response basically stating about how I feel bad, you know, and basically the same thing that I'm trying to preach now, dude. I just wanted to showcase my talent on different people, black, white, Asian, Chinese, doesn't matter. Hair was always hair for me. It always has been, always will be. What this message is saying is something I'm really not proud of. I'm really disgusted, and I'm embarrassed that I allowed myself to subject myself to such stupidity, to have a dollar and make a living, and to be in fear, live in fear, dude. This is the shit that I put up. Basically, here's the disgusting part. It comes back to, you know, September 5th, 2017. I'm basically talking about a title of a channel. They're agreeing, keeping it 100. I'm basically also talking about unfollowing a person that I used to hang out with at that time. They basically agree for me to unfollow that person. They agree that it's cool that I unfollow that person. And also, if I'm done posting that gorilla, that they would love to follow me again, their friend, right? Try telling me. This is my response, my disgusting response. Disgusting.
Now, I will admit that David's delivery of this situation was busted as fuck, okay? It really was. It was hard for people, including me at the time initially, to trust him and the legitimacy of the messages, because he tried to benefit from the drama by saying, I'll release the full tea when I hit my first 200 subscribers on my YouTube channel. Once he realized that wasn't the move, he finally released the alleged messages in full, and instead of just having screenshots, dude came through with the actual old phone with the whole thread of messages with timestamps that all matched up, like I said earlier, showing the message in which, in my opinion, it really is Jeffree Star referring to Jackie Aina as a gorilla. Now, you fast forward to just a few weeks ago when Ashley Kyle put up her payroll video in which everyone called her out for being a clout chaser. Jeffree Star even said this on Snapchat like the pathological liar that he is.
There's one other big elephant in the room. The smear campaign, and a few old friends, who were never my friends, P.S., coming out of the woodwork and making up a bunch of crazy lies. Now listen, you guys, I know I've been in a lot of bullshit. I've been in a lot of drama. After last year, I uploaded a video called Never Doing This Again. I'm not going to entertain people that want clout and attention and followers. When I leave on a really good note with someone and our last texts are all positive and great, and then months later they make up a bunch of shit about me on camera, no. We're not going to entertain it. We're not going to feed into the negativity, and I'm not going to give an ounce of fucks to these people who are literally making up shit out of thin air. Now, the old Jeffree would pull up all the receipts, sit down, rebunk every little thing. Girl, this is 2016, Kat Von D crossing my face out. Everyone believed it for 2 days. And as I sat there being completely mentally degraded, and then I came back with like, hey, here's the truth. I think maybe these people want that reaction. I think they maybe want attention. I don't know the root, but I know that I was a very good person to these people. We were acquaintances. We were not friends. And what is being said is just so dumb. I'm not going to entertain it. So a few checklist things. No, I don't shit talk my real friends ever. Sorry. I know it sounds fun and exciting. Me and Trisha Paytas are like this. I know you guys are trying to feed into her negativities. It's not going to work. I know everyone wants a bloodbath. It's not real. Me and Trisha had a crazy time in Vegas. We're really good friends, and I'm bored. I get we're in the age of people love to sensationalize drama. I used to be a part of it, but we're going to nip it in the butt, and we're not going to play those games today. So anyone who's running their gums about me this week, whoever paid y'all in a group to do that one after another, I hope it was worth it. I really do. I'm going to continue to only show love on my platform and talk about what's important. So Jeffree Star drama, no bitch.
When I sat down and listened to this man's rant, all I could do was laugh. Because all of this is coming from a man who has proven time and time again that he is a pathological fucking liar. Okay? And the one thing I've always said on my channel, especially more recently in regards to Jeffree Star, is if someone's willing to lie about the stupid shit, like whether or not he drank alcohol at any point in his life, he's willing to lie about pretty much any and everything. And that's just a fact. And it's stupid, because the shit that he lies about really doesn't even fucking matter. Case in point, the alcohol, once again. In the beginning, he always was pictured with drinks, and he talked about being fucked up on tour. But in more recent years, he has said, I've never had a sip of alcohol. Ever. Ever. So either, again, like Sharita has said in her video before, you were lying then or you're lying now, but either way, you still fucking lied. And not even that, you lied about something that no one gives a fuck about. If you don't drink, cool. Good for you. If you do, cool. Hopefully you do it responsibly. That's all anyone gives a fuck about, let's be honest. No one gives a fuck if you drink or not. You're a fucking adult. So, again, if he's willing to lie about stupid shit like that, let me just make it clear. He's willing to lie about any and everything, which he has, and he's doing in the Snapchat, making out Ashley to be a liar, making out Cam to be a liar, because he's the one who's being exposed. Which brings me now back full circle to my main question. Why is it that Jeffree Star stans will reject anything and everything brought up that exposes him as a shitty racist person, but they believe every word that comes out of dude's mouth with no proof? Why is that? Is it fear? Because it seems to me like a lot of the reason why people move the way they do around Jeffree is out of fear. They're intimidated by him. Which is silly, because really, his attitude and the way he treats people and just his general personality and ego screams of someone who is highly insecure. Let's be honest. Now, let's get back to the Tati and James and Jeffree Star situation. The trashiest, nastiest, and most evil thing someone could do to a friend or a family member, quote unquote, is falsely accuse them of life-ruining shit that A, you have no proof of, and B, never happened, which is exactly what Tati and Jeffree did to James. It's also recently been exposed that Shane not showering is a personality trait, and I'm poor Dawson was involved behind the scenes, because of course he was, and had knowledge of everything before it was going to happen, and didn't once try to stop the situation or even help James behind the scenes. Bitch, this to me is honestly so strange, considering the fact that he single-handedly got Tana Mojo's busted ass off the hook after she actually fucked people over at TanaCon. where people actually got hurt.
Manage has told me that like it's your mom's real estate money and you have plenty of it and you've scammed them.
In any case, at the end of the day, people took what Jeffree said when he called James and referred to him as a danger to society, and they ran with that shit. And even to this day, I still see people, when talking about James Charles, referring to him as a danger to society. Just because Jeffree Star said so. Because if Jeffree Star says so, it must be true. With or without proof. But normally, it's without proof. And you know what? Tati can get the smoke too, because you know what? She's just as trashy, in my opinion. Like, imagine being a grown-ass woman crying over someone not using your sugar pills, and joining forces with a money-hungry, vengeful, jealous, vindictive, evil racist who went in with every intention of destroying James's career because he was just too successful. And watching someone that young be, in most cases, more successful than he is too much to bear. And it made him jealous. Because that's exactly how I see the situation. And because I know someone's gonna say it, miss me with the Tati was manipulated bullshit. Okay? I don't believe that for a motherfucking second. I don't. Because if you, as a grown-ass person, cannot look at a situation and assess a situation logically, like in this situation, it would be, in my head, it would be, it's kind of weird that Jeffree is pretty much orchestrating everything behind the scenes and telling people what they're going to say and when they're going to say it. It's also weird that he's saying all of these things and telling people to say all these things and when to say these things with no proof to back anything up. And you know what? Because I've always seen James as a family member, I'm not going to go through with this. I'm going to pull him to the side and talk to him privately, behind the scenes, behind the camera, because all this shit just seems weird, because it is weird and very suspicious, and no one deserves to be put through this shit, because James is family, and I wouldn't do that to family. Psych. That's the exact opposite of what Tati did, because guess what? This was not Tati being manipulated. That was Tati being pissed and joining forces with someone with a fan base whose support has been proven time and time again to be unwavering, knowing that they'll believe anything that comes out of Jeffree Star's mouth, no questions asked, no proof needed. They were banking on that support, and that is why she is just as evil in the situation. Jeffree has been exposed so many times, and he's always said, I'm a changed person, I'm different, my morals back then were nowhere near what they are now, yada yada yada, fucking lies. Every time Jeffree Star opens his mouth, he's lying in my eyes. That's just the way I see things. Because you know what? The only difference between Jeffree 10 years ago and Jeffree now is the fact that he has the money to keep people quiet, whether it be legally with lawyers or with hush money. He's got his perfectly plump ass covered on all ends. And we know this. We know how he does it, okay? Jeffree now also, once again, has the unwavering support of millions of vicious people who are ready to attack at the first sign of shade thrown by him at anybody he doesn't like for any reason. There is power in numbers, once again. He also now surrounds himself with yes men like Shane, Mac, NW60, Dawson. Which leads me to the last portion of this video. Shane really said with his entire whole chest, the beauty community is toxic. I'm too sensitive for this shit. I'm out of it. Now, in the long ass, unnecessary ass post he made on Twitter the other day that has now been deleted because, again, he's a fucking coward, he forgets to mention that his best friend and the man that changed his life is the most toxic part of the community. And it's been proven that he is exactly that many, many times. The fact of the matter is, the beauty community outside of Jeffree Star's little world that he's got at the top there is thriving. It's doing wonderfully. Okay? He is the main toxic part of the beauty community. Because you know what? I remember the beauty community before Jeffree Star. Was there shady shit? Absolutely, of course there was. But the real circus, Shane, as you called it, didn't start until after Jeffree Star entered from stage left. And it's been a shit show ever since. Jeffree and Shane love to play the mental health card when it's their asses in the hot seat. But Jeffree Star was in full hyena mode for the better part of 2 years, almost, watching his ex-friends get dragged and canceled and bullied by his fans for what happened back in 2018. And he didn't give a single solitary fuck about the mental health of those people and the effects of his stans bullying them and what that did. He didn't give a single fuck, but now he wants to play the mental health card. Now he gives a fuck. Strange that Jeffree wants to play the mental health card when he laughed at Manny. He laughed at Kat Von D, which, whatever, she deserved it, she's a piece of shit. He laughed at the downfall of all these people that he had a hand in canceling and dragging, and he shaded and sent his fan base after for whatever reason. But now that he's the one, the hot seat, now he wants to give a fuck about mental health and cry woe is me and da-da-da, and my life is a joke to you, you guys all laugh at it, you don't take it seriously, all this bullshit. Where was that same energy when you sent your fan base after Manny MUA? For how long? And maybe you didn't do it directly by saying, hey, go attack Manny. You did it by shading him whenever chance you get. It's like these people were already over what had happened, and you still, that was your proudest moment back then at that point. So you kept reliving it and bringing it up because it's just so funny to you. But now that it's you in the hot seat, you can't imagine why anyone would ever wish the same failures on you. They're your karma. This situation now, everything's coming out now, Jeffree, is your karma. This is Karmageddon. This is not Dramageddon. This is Karmageddon. And Shane, you had the audacity to sit there and play the mental health card. I tried to. But honestly, all I could hear in my head was a tiny violin when I was reading the part where you were saying, I'm too sensitive for this. I can't do this anymore. This beauty community is toxic and I'm leaving it. I'm out. I'm this. I'm that. Fuck you. You and Jeffree are both trash because you didn't give a single solitary fuck about the mental health of James Charles when you sat there and sat idly by knowing what was going to happen. You sat behind the scenes through the entire situation with Tati and Jeffree and James and didn't say a goddamn thing, and you even admitted to it in your note saying, I didn't say things to him for reasons I will never disclose. You don't have to give reasons. You're a piece of shit. That's why. The long and short of it is this. The beauty community outside of Jeffree Star's little circle of trash heaps, including Shane Dawson, is thriving. It's a beautiful community. It's friendly. It's fun. It's amazing to see the talent that people ignore because people like Jeffree Star fucking exist. But that's just the way it is for whatever reason, and I hope that changes sooner than later. But there are so many artists on this platform and on other platforms as well who have so much more talent in their little pinky nail than Jeffree does in his entire fucking body. And then you have people like Shane Dawson who tries to flame an entire community of people who I've seen be nothing but supportive and friendly and fun and just talented. He tries to flame them for the actions of his best friend that he doesn't want to acknowledge because, once again, he has no backbone. That's trashy to me. And what's even worse to me, Shane, is that you sat there and you flamed the entire community of people who you used to get millions of dollars back in your pocket because you claim you're so poor. And the reason why Jeffree's so amazing is because he got you this huge, collaboration with his business, knowing the influence that man has, knowing the influence that you have, you utilize that. And you used both your fan bases to make you millions. And now you want to flame the entire community that you just fucking used to get money off of and dip out at the last minute. And you want to say it's not about money? You lie like a fucking rug. And that's the gospel fucking truth. With that being said, guys, I'm done for tonight. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.